Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adamu Hussaini. I am working on financial crime detection at the University of Mans, Champaign-Ardenne in France. I'm presenting my work on Elaboration of financial crime ontology for our crowd prevention system. And actually, I'm from Nigeria. In this presentation, I'm going to discuss about the motivation of the research work, the research challenge, and we are going to talk about financial fraud detection itself, our proposed approach, of course, and how we address the ontology and the prevention system. And I will talk about the discussion of the results, which is the validation of our work, then conclusion, and possibly the part of the future work. So financial fraud detection, financial fraud is actually a global issue now. We have several cases in different parts of the world. The highest we have is from United States, Africa, and also some part of Western Europe. But specifically from where I came from, that is Nigeria, I will of course discuss it in the motivation. We have different form of financial fraud, which is mainly different from the one in Western Europe, Eastern Europe, and America. There is an estimated of about $4.7 trillion lost to financial fraud, and the problem is not declining; it is always increasing, because we have some quite impressive fraud detection system in place, but still the problem is increasing. So we might try to find the solution to the problem. So one of the key motivations that led to this research work is that the country where I came from is mainly nowadays being taught about financial fraud. I have been to so many countries, and when I say I'm from Nigeria, people try to talk about maybe they received some emails, maybe they met some people on social media from claiming all from Nigeria, and that they try to have some kind of fraud with association. So I try to see, maybe we say, what can you do to your country, not think of what your country can do for you. So I take a look at this problem, and I understand that the victims of financial fraud, it leads them to so many negative issues in life, depression, bankruptcy, and sometimes it leads to suicide. So I'm specifically in some of the countries that I understand in the research, the level of financial crime, it leads to so many violence from different gangs, like the way we have with drugs and so on. So one of the key research challenges is to have a successful financial fraud and prevention system. Of course, we will come across so many difficulties, like the complexity of fraudsters, the system itself, and also fraudsters tend to bypass all our fraud detection systems. And also the level of, especially here in Europe, the level of privacy from the data or quality of the data, it may bring another problem for us. So in this research, we start by understanding the main problem of financial fraud. We study the state of the art with the research hypothesis and so on. And then we get into the incremental approach. And then we to develop the system, test it, we get a feedback from users, and maybe a suggestion for improvement from the users. So from the understanding the scope of the problem, we understand that there are so many actors that are involved in financial fraud, that are victims of financial fraud. There are financial services organizations, There are manufacturing industries. Government itself can be a victim of financial fraud. Telecommunication agencies, travel agencies, sports organizations, and us as individuals, we can become a victims of financial fraud. So there are different categories of fraud. So many nowadays. There are even COVID-19 fraud. So we have corruption, cyber violence, property, and so many types of financial fraud. So in general, in this research work, we are going to have like a generic approach to financial fraud detection. There are quite similar and interesting research work done on this on financial fraud, from machine learning to knowledge-based systems and blockchain, the recent blockchain technology. So most of this approach, they discuss about a specific domain of financial fraud, specific domain, and also they try to implement the system in a way that it detects fraud. The system does not serve as, does not give any multiple usability. It only serves as financial fraud or domain, specific domain fraud detection. So what you understand is that some of this related to credit card fraud, maybe money laundering, identity theft, and so on. So the goal of our research is to treat in general financial fraud detection, not just by detecting the problem, but to serve as a knowledge repositories for the users and for the users. So our system will elaborate various financial fraud system, and also it will serve as a generic financial fraud detection, which consists of various domains of financial fraud. And then we will have to validate our approach using structural consistency approach. Not only structural consistency, but with knowledge consistency approach, to make sure that the knowledge in the ontology has been validated. So when we revise the research challenge as well, we talk about the complexity of the fraudulent behavior. They always try to be complex, the fraudsters, and also to find an accurate data set to validate. We try to validate our work within data set validation approach. So it was quite difficult to find a reliable data set that we can use to compare the knowledge in our ontology. So the scope of our ontology, as I said earlier, is for financial fraud and related knowledge. We present knowledge, we extract knowledge, we create terminologies and axioms to be used for the different concept of financial fraud. And also we have to create concept, individuals and their properties for each part, for each domain of financial, or for each class of fraud. So, and also we will have to put some semantic annotations in each class of fraud, so that we can implement a reasoning for the detection of the fraud. So for the implementing of this work, we use Ontology ontology development software, which has been written in all ontology language. So to have an overview of our ontology, we propose a 3 layers. The first layer is the generic layer, that is general financial fraud layer. And then we have a domain specific. We have specific types of fraud. So that's our second layer. And then we have case specific, like different cases that are a layer below the domain specific. So we have different cases that are not a domain themselves, but they are few cases. And I will describe them in ontology. So how do we acquire the knowledge to classify all these layers? We use a large-scale knowledge acquisition procedure whereby we serve internet with various keywords where we have different documents, papers, books, and we contact some experts in financial fraud for their reviews. So we try to analyze all this information that we have. After analyzing, we try to classify different types of frauds in different classes. We have generic fraud as a financial fraud. Then we try to create different domains so that to serve as a domain specific fraud. We also try to classify different cases of fraud so that to serve as case specific fraud. After this classification, we then have to come with axioms to serve as a simple phrases that can be input into the ontology. The ontology, we name it financial fraud ontology for detection, in short as fraud, and we have 11 domains of financial fraud in the ontology, which include transaction fraud, banking fraud, investment fraud, tax fraud, lottery, identity theft, telecommunication, and so on. So, and this fraud has about, for now, we have about 148 concepts that are case-specific classes of fraud. And then each of these, from the domains to the case-specific to the generic fraud itself, has various object properties and data properties that are linked with their respective classes. And also one class can have relation with another class. So we take an example of this, of some of their domains and their respective classes. For example, we have a domain of bank fraud. So this bank fraud, it is a context of manipulation or try to attack different organizations or individuals' accounts. So in this bank fraud, we have as a domain, we create another cases specific of bank fraud. For example, accounting fraud or credit card fraud or debit card fraud and so on. So all these are classified under banking fraud. And then, and these ones, they have various relationships with other classes that are outside banking fraud. They might have, for example, credit card fraud might have relation with another class in identity theft. So all these relationships are explained in the ontology. We have another domain of identity theft. So in this under identity theft, we have various cases of identity theft, such as email fraud, phishing, social media fraud, and so on. Under this also, we try to link each class with the relationship within the class and outside class, or outside the class. And we also annotate each class with various properties, object and data properties. So again, we also have another domain, which is transaction fraud. This we extracted it, I will discuss it later. We extracted it from the validation approach we use. So under this transaction fraud, we have also various cases that are linked with other classes outside their main class, like pet alerts or pet items can have a relation or have relation with, for example, let's say social media fraud. You met someone online, you try to purchase an item, you make the payment, and then the person did not deliver. So this class, case-specific class of item not rendered, can have a relationship with social media fraud. So, and also when we come to tax fraud, we try to classify different different types of or cases of tax fraud, from tax evasion, fake income report, and so on. So, for example, for fake income report, we try to see how businesses try to bypass or try to give a fake income report by not including their real income in the report. We have various relationships of this case-specific fraud with other classes. So we try to validate the ontology with various approaches. We validate the ontology with its structural consistency to make sure that the ontology is the structure of the ontology is aligned with the all development format. And also we try to validate the knowledge to make sure that the knowledge in the ontology is correct and can be useful for for example, for the reasonings of detection. Because for now, the ontology aims to give knowledge about financial fraud and relations or the patterns used by the fraudsters for the fraud. But when it comes to adding the reasoning for detection financial fraud, the knowledge is very important, because if we did not validate the knowledge, then we might end up getting false positive fraud detection. So we use various data sets to detect the fraud. For example, we have a data set that talks about business or transaction fraud. Then we extract some instances from the data set, about 70% of the instances from the data set. Then we also have, we try to check the similarity between the instances of the data set and the concept in our ontology. So we see that if those of the similarity is to some extent, then we have various, we validated the domain. So, for example, in transaction fraud, we found out that in this data set, we do not have any instance that is aligned with the concept of transaction fraud. So we have to add different cases from the data set into our ontology so that we can validate our transaction fraud. So in the conclusion, this ontology aims to provide users with the financial fraud knowledge, as I said, the fraudsters pattern, the fraudster behaviors, and to make users understand various concepts of fraud, so that we can they can know the relations between one fraud to another. So our main work in the future will be to implement a detection reasoning from this ontology knowledge, so that we can be able to detect fraud from the implied knowledge in the ontology. Then also we will try to compare the results of the detection approach with other various machine learning fraud detection systems to see if the result is quite good. And so thank you. And
thank you very much for presenting very important and actual topic. So here, knowledge management ontology, presenting some items. I appreciate your classification of frauds. Thank you very much. And now, as usual, questions, comments.
Question. Did you create the ontology from scratch, or did you reuse any of the available top ontologies? And domain ontologies, let's say to reuse concept from, for example, procurement ontology or financial ontology. There's like
FIBO ontology.
and many others. So what was your approach?
So actually, from the beginning, we have some in the generic context. We used some part of our knowledge from FIBO ontology. We used it, and then for the generic layer, we also used what do you call that? An ontology for e-government fraud. We used some part of the generic layer from that ontology, but for the domain and case-specific layers, we started from the scratch.
Okay, thank you. This is like very also fraud detection, very domain specific. So
Yes.
you start this aspect.
Yes.
Anybody else?
I have a question. So, as you said, the fraudsters can be one of the latest inventions that I've heard of. Fraud detection frauds, as you call them. Yeah, so, for example, they called you and they said that, oh, your bank account has been compromised, but everything is okay, we stopped it, but we just calling to check on a few things. Yes. And I've seen several reports, so do you think that those fraud detection frauds, would you classify them as standards, money frauds, personal frauds, or do you think that they would deserve their own category?
Okay, they have their own category. Because when you classify a fraud pattern, you consider various aspects, like you said, they make calls. So we have it under banking fraud, but it's a case specific itself, because they try to call you. Sometimes they'll call and say they are like customer care from your bank and so on. So we have it under PEC customer call, but it is case specific, not domain specific, because it has to be under banking fraud. So it is a PEC customer call, and so in the ontology and in the properties of this class, we have various, even the term, they try to add to be really smart the way they talk, and they try to avoid questions from the customer. They try to avoid questions, and also they try to have some details from you. For example, they check your date of birth. They will say, okay, are you so person? Your date of birth is so on. So they will try to trick you, and then give you some information about you, so that they can have what they want from you. So under this category, it is case specific fraud itself, and in the ontology, we also have all these patterns for this.
I'm just wondering, can, let's say, one specific case belong to multiple categories? Because I, for example, work with fuzzy sets a bit, so it's kind of natural to me that maybe like one specific case would possibly belong to multiple classes.
Yes, exactly. It's possible, because on the way to do for call, we can have as well under a telecommunication fraud. We have your call where it's like so this kind of fraud can also be under telecommunication fraud. So one case can be in different.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.